Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Friday, the 24th day of July. This is CTV News. Tonight, a spike at the pumps. Gas prices are up for the weekend and why it could be only the beginning. Remembering an icon, mourning the passing of Elmer MacKay. And the Africville reunion. The stage is set to celebrate one of Nova Scotia's historic communities.
Live from our Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. Just in time for what is expected to be a beautiful weekend around here. The price of gasoline has once again soared at the pumps. The ongoing and expanding war in Iran is cited as a factor. And as we've seen before, we're also being warned that the price could go significantly higher. CTV's Jesse Thomas has more.
Here in Nova Scotia, gas jumped 5.7 cents per liter, up to $1.92.6 overnight. A bit of a shock for people at the pump this morning.
I've got a filler, but it's expensive for sure.
And the prices jumped right across the Maritimes, where gas is some of the most expensive per liter in the country now. Like on PEI, where gas increased 5.8 cents a liter, the minimum price now $2.02.3. And in New Brunswick, gas increased by 6.3 cents, the maximum price now $1.93.5. It's enough to make some people rethink their summer travel plans.
I think it impacts lots of things. I think we'll probably stay a little closer to home, to be honest. Yeah.
Today's my first day for my staycation, and I am going to explore my province, but keep it closer to home because the price of gas is influencing how much I travel.
While some people are staying closer to home, what's driving up the cost of fuel is happening far away from this gas station in Halifax. Head petroleum analyst Patrick DeHaan with GasBuddy.com says conflicts around the globe, like the U.S. and Iran war and the ongoing Ukraine-Russia conflict, is driving the price of crude oil up to its highest level in more than a month.
Because as Ukraine attacks Russian refineries, Europe needs to find alternative supply, and you are competing now at a much higher level with what supply is available, because what is in the Maritimes can easily be sent over to Europe.
Whether or not we can predict if gas prices will continue to climb or cool off is hard to predict. It's political in nature.
It's really a function of whether or not we'll continue to see escalations or whether or not we'll eventually see de-escalation.
Jesse Thomas, CTV News, Halifax.
Could the Maritime region one day be serviced by one giant electric grid? The Maritime Premier signed an MOU to explore what that idea would look like in Charlottetown the other day. We do know that this is something energy advocates have been asking for a long time. CTV's Avery MacKay has details.
Improved affordability, optimized planning and investments, and a stronger, more resilient system. That's what maritime provinces are hoping comes from a more regional approach to power needs.
Each of us has utilities and systems that plan the demand from our customers, our ability to generate, but we do that in isolation. So now we're going to look at all of the generation assets in the Maritimes together.
That includes everything from current power generation to potential future assets. As it stands today, each province operates on its own distinct power line, but the provinces say they will explore a system that would serve the entire region. NB Power says they support the exploration of a regional approach and plan to contribute their expertise as needed.
It's probably one of the most consequential announcements in the last decade for energy and electricity.
Atlantica Center for Energy President Michelle Robichaud has long advocated for the benefits of a regional energy approach. She says if the provinces determine a regional grid is the best method, residents won't notice a difference.
But what they will notice is that their energy bills might not go up, or the reliability aspect, so that we don't have to issue announcements that say we're preparing for a blackout or a brownout during winter season.
The three provinces have committed to providing an update on their power plans this fall. We should also point out, Premier Susan Holt was asked this morning about the possibility of cutting power off to Maine as a leverage tactic in the ongoing trade war with Washington. As of 2024, the province provided 44% of the state's power. The Premier didn't answer one way or the other, but said it would be a very serious thing to do, given the long-standing relationship between the people of Maine and New Brunswick. Avery MacKay, CTV News, St. John.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Looks as if the province of Nova Scotia is responding to concerns from seniors that we brought you last night. As we reported, people in the government-owned designated seniors building say they're worried about their safety because the province is opening up some of the units to the homeless and people with addiction and mental health problems. Officials say they will seek more information from residents themselves.
They're the landlord, and we want to work with police and be partners in dealing with any particular issues that may be contributing to a safety concern for any of our tenants in the building. But as far as we know, that's not something that's been brought forward to our folks.
To that end, the agency has scheduled a couple of tenant engagement meetings for next week. A rare and expensive guitar was stolen from a music store in Moncton yesterday. The windows were smashed at Long and McQuaid early Thursday morning. Just one of the hundreds of instruments was actually stolen. A one-of-a-kind custom Gibson Les Paul model valued at more than $14,000. The store manager insists it's pretty much useless to whoever stole it because of how unique and obviously recognizable it is.
It's a one-off. It's the only one in the world. It's going to be pretty much useless to anybody who has it. So we just want it back. Give it back. You know, it's not going to do anybody any good. Even if somebody paid $3,000 for it, they're going to be playing in their pajamas in the basement for the rest of their life, and nobody can see it.
Staff are hoping anyone who may have information will report it to police or contact the store. The RCMP is, in fact, investigating the theft. A couple charged in connection with a newborn death in Halifax has had their court case pushed back as lawyers review evidence from the Crown. Sukhpreet Singh and his wife Ramandeep Kaur are charged with indignity to human remains, intending to conceal the remains, lying to a police officer, and obstruction of justice. They appeared in court virtually today. The case pushed back to September 14th. Halifax police say a woman who had just given birth showed up to hospital with life-threatening conditions in May, but there was no baby with her. A search later uncovered the newborn's remains in some woods near Hatchet Lake, and the mother died in hospital a few days later. Tributes continue to pour in for Elmer MacKay tonight. The longtime former member of Parliament for the Maritime riding of Central Nova passed away at the age of 89. His time in politics helped to shape the Conservative Party of Canada and the country itself. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness looks back at a life of public service.
Longtime PC member of Parliament Elmer MacKay has died. His son Peter announced his father's passing this morning on social media. His was an extraordinary life, collecting legions of friends, leaving a legacy of hard work and public service. He loved the forest, poetry, sport, law, and good debate, the Yankees, and especially his family. Deeply missed and alive in our hearts. MacKay was first elected in a by-election in 1971. He served as the Member of Parliament until 1983. That's when he resigned his seat so new federal leader Brian Mulroney could run for Parliament.
If Brian wants me to do something to help him, or if the party does, you know, really there hasn't been any deal. Bob Stanfield didn't offer me anything to get into politics, and Brian Mulroney hasn't offered me anything to get out.
MacKay didn't stay away from politics long. He was re-elected in Central Nova in September 1984 after Mulroney decided to run in Quebec. He served in cabinet with Public Works, the Atlantic Canada Opportunity Agency, National Revenue and Regional Economic Expansion, as well as Solicitor General of Canada from 1984 to 1985. He also pushed hard for the construction of the Confederation Bridge. MacKay eventually retired in 1993. In a statement, Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston recalled that Elmer kept his name and number in the phone book so you could always get a hold of him. Over the years, our MLA offices would often hear from Elmer if he was talking to a person he thought we might be able to help. He was a great person who was always eager to help people. Federal Party leader Pierre Poilievre also offered his condolences. The people loved Elmer, and he loved them. In Nova Scotia, I still hear stories of Elmer showing up at the homes of the less fortunate right before Christmas with a bundle of gifts and a fresh turkey for supper, never publicizing his generosity. Peter MacKay ended his post today by saying, "Sleep well, Pop. You earned your rest." Elmer MacKay was 89 years old. Jonathan McGinnis, CTV News, Halifax.
Regardless of the weather, it has been blue skies above the region's largest airport lately. That's because Halifax Stanfield is hitting new high in passenger traffic and flight numbers, up about 12% year over year in the second quarter, as a matter of fact.
In the month of June, we actually saw increases in all three sectors, so domestically across Canada, as well as U.S. travel and in international. But really that driving factor for the year has been a significant increase in capacity for international traffic.
Jay says a whole bunch of reasons for that, but Halifax is considered kind of a prime stop to shorten transatlantic flights for travelers. All right, still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast, and we'll explore how prepared Maritimers would be in the event of a financial emergency. Coming up next, though, sniffing out cancer.
We use machine learning to synthesize that data and identify the patterns in the breath that are associated with disease.
Clinical study underway in Moncton is investigating the potential of breath analysis for early detection. That's next. Stay with us. This is really interesting. A clinical study underway in Moncton is investigating the potential of breath analysis for the early detection of breast cancer. CTV's Derek Haggett has all the details.
Breathe Biomedical is partnering with the Vitalite Health Network on a study using breath analysis as a non-invasive tool to detect breast cancer in women with dense breast tissue.
We analyze it on our very sophisticated spectral device, which creates a data set from the breath, and then we use machine learning to synthesize that data and identify the patterns in the breath that are associated with disease.
Cancer can be harder to detect in women with dense breast tissue, something half of all women at risk of the disease have. The study will investigate whether breath analysis could serve as a complementary tool to traditional screening methods.
Mammogram sees the underlying tissue as gray. It also sees the cancerous lesions as gray. And so what clinicians say is trying to find cancer in a woman with dense breast tissue is like trying to pick a particular cloud out of a cloud-filled sky.
A recent preliminary study conducted in St. John distinguished women with early-stage breast cancer from those without, with an accuracy rate of over 88%.
88% accuracy is great. And also what is great about this is what they found in the study in St. John is that the breast test is not impacted by the breast density.
Around 800 women, many from New Brunswick, will participate in the study, which got underway in Moncton this week. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Thank you, Derek. Time for a quick little break here, but when we return, your complete maritime weather forecast. We've got another weekend upon us, and it's looking pretty darn good, as a matter of fact. Kaylin has all the details coming up next. Best words of the week, aren't they? It's Friday night.
Yeah, those are some good words.
They are some good words.
Yeah.
And what about the weather? Are those also some good words?
I think they are.
Are they?
They include the words high pressure.
Okay.
And sunshine.
All right.
And warm temperatures. And all weekend long.
All weekend long. See, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, it's looking like a pretty ideal final weekend of July for the Maritime region. The weather front that came through the middle part of this week, the one that brought us some rain and some thunderstorms, that is now well off towards the east of us, and in behind it, there's this area of high pressure that's going to be in place. Was kind of glad to get that front, though. It is good to get a couple of rainy days through the month of July. We've had a couple of those lately. Taking a look at our timeline for cloud cover and precipitation for the rest of tonight and at the start start of the day for tomorrow. It should be fairly clear conditions. There might be a little bit of fog that develops around the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick and parts of the southwestern coastline of Nova Scotia. But if there is a little bit of fog around, it'll be dissipating or retreating off the coast as we move from the morning into the afternoon. And then Saturday afternoon, sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces. And that heads into a fairly clear Saturday evening and Saturday night. And it's basically a repeat for Sunday, except for maybe a little bit of cloud cover increasing off the Atlantic for the province of Nova Scotia through the day. Winds in the forecast for tomorrow, not going to be an issue for the Maritimes. They'll be mostly out of the south. They'll be sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, pretty light by our standards. Might be a few occasional gusts getting up between about 20 and 30, but that's about it. Temperatures for tonight, the lows will be around the high single digits and low teens for a good portion of the region. In Prince Edward Island, some of the low temperatures could be closer to 15 degrees. And then here's a look at your high temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow on Saturday. And you can see it's going to be very warm, even maybe a little bit towards the hot side for communities in the north of New Brunswick. 28 at Edmundston, 27 at Grand Falls, 28 at Bathurst, and 29 at Miramichi. Fredericton tomorrow with a high temperature near 29. 29 for St. Stephen. Then down around the Bay of Fundy coastline, because of that onshore south wind, temperatures a little bit more moderate. So 24 there for Grand Manan and Campobello, 26 for St. John, but then back up to 29 for Moncton. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow, highs near 27 for Summerside and Charlottetown, close to 29 for Cavendish, unless you're, right on the beach, and then it'll be close to 26 degrees. 25 for Surrey, and then 27 for Montague. In Cape Breton tomorrow, the high temperatures will be mostly around the mid to high 20s, except around the Atlantic coastline, where it'll be 23 to 25 degrees. High 20s for the north shore of mainland Nova Scotia. On the eastern shore, near the coast, highs of around 23 to 25. It'll be 27 for Amherst for tomorrow. 28 for Truro, 26 for Enfield, and 25 for Halifax, close to 24 for Chester and Lunenburg, as well as Liverpool and Shelburne, 23 degrees for Yarmouth, and then the Indianapolis Valley, it's going to be hot with high temperatures closer to 28. Pretty comfortable levels of humidity, though, through the entire weekend for the Maritime region. For New Brunswick, very warm temperatures carry on into the start of next week. Both Monday and Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud. There'll be a chance of showers on Wednesday, and then rain possible on Thursday of next week. Temperatures cooling as a result, and then a mix of sun and cloud on Friday. For Nova Scotia in the forecast, a bit more of a mix of sun and cloud on Sunday. High temperatures away from the coast, mid to high 20s. On the coast, low to mid 20s. A chance of showers on Monday is followed by a mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday of next week, and then a low chance of showers on Wednesday, and then rain or showers more likely on Thursday. That's followed by a mix of sun and cloud on Friday. And for Prince Edward Island, for the start of next week, on Monday, it's a mix of sun and cloud, highs near 24, up to 26 on Tuesday with a mix of sun and cloud, and then a low chance of showers on Wednesday. Rain or showers more likely on Thursday with a high near 20, and then a mix of sun and cloud with highs near 22 on Friday of next week. Bruce.
Everything we could have hoped right there.
That's pretty nice.
It is pretty nice. Okay, wake up weather still to come. Stay with us. Be right back.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
From a broken down car to a leaky roof, if you had to shell out, say, $1,500 for an unexpected expense, could you do that? Do you even have an emergency fund? As CTV's Stephanie Seacos tells us tonight, the high cost of living has made it much more difficult for people to save for the inevitable rainy day.
To prepare for the unexpected, Damon Seaton even opened a credit card for the very first time.
I just tried to, live within my means, but things have gotten so rough lately when it comes to food and finances that I kind of needed a safety net, so I just recently went and picked one up. It's not very big, but it's enough that I can maybe get by if an emergency actually pops up.
According to a recent poll by RBC, 45% of Atlantic Canadians are worried they're one major expense away from being over the edge financially.
I think if you look at how expenses have risen versus incomes rising and everything like that, the squeeze had to happen sooner or later, and it's just been here for a while. So it's how do we adjust what we do to handle that?
When it comes to emergency savings, 83% say the high cost of living is making it harder to build or maintain them. 57% say they haven't saved enough for emergencies, and 42% say they've dipped into their emergency fund for other expenses. In terms of what unexpected expenses Atlantic Canadians are most worried about right now, 47% say a car repair or unexpected transportation costs, 42% say a major home repair, and 28% say medical or health costs. While many people are not prepared in the event of an emergency, that's not the case for everyone.
I'm economical. My family would call me, but my parents always made us that way. Just spend what you need to spend and save. Always save.
Stephanie Seco, CTV News, Halifax.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie. Time for one final break tonight. Coming up, preparing for the Africville reunion. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at Antigonish, Nova Scotia on this Friday night, just about midnight, and still a comfortable 17 degrees. Kaylin will tell you how to dress for Saturday morning. Next. Happy Saturday morning. Let's kick it off with a look at the wake-up weather from Kaylin.
Yeah, nice, easy Saturday morning ahead for the Maritime region. If there is a little bit of fog, it'll be clearing up. Morning temperatures mostly around the low to mid-teens, and then moving into the afternoon, it's sunshine for all three Maritime provinces. Light winds out of the south, a lot of high temperatures, mid to high 20s for tomorrow. A few areas of the coast, a little bit more moderate with highs topping out around the low to mid-20s. Bruce.
Thank you, Kaylin. Have yourself a good weekend. Well, one of Nova Scotia's historic communities has come together for its 43rd annual reunion. As CTV's Vanessa Wright shows us tonight, hundreds will gather in Africville to honor its history and its heritage.
It makes me feel good and also sad that there's no reminiscence of a house or anything on the property.
It's a bittersweet time of year for Beatrice Wilkins. While she's excited to see the Africville community come together to celebrate its 43rd reunion, as someone who used to live here, it's also a reminder of the history.
We were a vibrant community. We occupied the lands for more than 150 years. We were self-sustaining. We did okay until the city decided they wanted the land.
It's the kind of history that's remembered and honored every year on the last week of July. Generations of Africville descendants camp out on the site, simply enjoying each other's company. The reunion kicked off yesterday with lots more on the agenda.
So we have a lot of activities, a lot of great giveaways. We have musical performances, we have DJs, so we have a lot of stuff that should really get them hyped and want to come out.
Tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to have a seniors bingo at 1 o'clock. Come on down. And Sunday, of course, we always end our activity with a church service on the Sunday.
Keeping Africville's memory alive for many more years to come. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Vanessa, and best wishes to everybody attending the reunion this weekend. Okay, so that is your late news for tonight, and that's it for this week, as a matter of fact. If you joined us late or you'd like another look at anything you've seen tonight, you can always visit us online, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. It's your home for news and updates all weekend long. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. We leave you with the names of all of us here at Bell Media. Have yourself a good night and a great weekend. See you again Monday.
See ya.